The exam is conducted to recruit the medical officers. They worked for the government and then they have prepared during their tenure as the medical officer with the central government. They have prepared. Ideally speaking, CMS is worth for those who are seeking early job stability. मतलब दो पेपर मिला के 240 क्वेश्चंस में से 40% roughly are likely to come from medicine, 10% from pediatrics. Hello everyone and welcome to Physics वाला MedEd. आई एम डॉक्टर पाटिल, आई एम अ फैकल्टी ऑफ मेडिसिन. लेकिन आज मैं कोई मेडिसिन टॉपिक के बारे में बात नहीं करने वाला हूँ. आई एम गोना टॉक अबाउट एन एग्जाम. विच एग्जाम? यूनियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन कंबाइंड मेडिकल सर्विस एग्जाम और यूपीएससी सीएमएस एग्जाम. तो इस वीडियो में हम बात करते हैं ये एग्जाम किन के लिए है, वाई द गवर्नमेंट कंडक्ट्स दिस एग्जाम, एग्जाम लेने से क्या फ़ायदे हैं, एंड अगर मुझे एग्जाम लेना है तो कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा एंड प्रिपरेशन की स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होगी, इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स क्या होगा, सब कुछ आज जानते हैं. सो व्हाट इज दिस यूपीएससी सीएमएस? सीएमएस स्टैंड्स फॉर कंबाइंड मेडिकल सर्विसेज एंड दिस एग्जाम इज कंडक्टेड बाय यूनियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन. एग्जाम किसके लिए कंडक्ट किया जाता है? द एग्जाम इज कंडक्टेड टू रिक्रूट द मेडिकल ऑफिसर्स. द मिनिमम एलिजिबिलिटी टू बी मेडिकल ऑफिसर इज गोइंग टू बी MBBS. मेडिकल ऑफिसर्स कहाँ पे? द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, ऑल दोज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस विच आर रन बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, जहाँ पे एक मेडिकल ऑफिसर की ज़रूरत है. टू फिल दैट पोस्ट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट रन्स दिस UPSC CMS examination. Now to be eligible to appear in this examination, do I need to be a postgraduate? Absolutely no. An MBBS graduate is eligible. If I'm a postgraduate, can I appear? Well, if you have MBBS, after that, no matter how many degrees you have added, you will still remain eligible. And this is usually conducted once a year, roughly in the middle of the year. Like this year, it was conducted in the month of July. You will have an MCQ based exam followed by an interview. Okay, so it is like, so many MCQ based exams that you are giving, NEET PG, FMG, somewhat similar MCQ based exam followed by an interview. तो अगर मैंने ये एग्ज़ाम क्रैक किया तो वेयर विल आई गेट पोस्टेड? सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल्ड इंस्टीट्यूशंस जहाँ पे मेडिकल ऑफिसर्स की ज़रूरत हो सकती है एंड यू मे बी पोस्टेड एनीवेयर. So what are those? I can give you a few examples like railway medical services, which is run by central government. Then central government health scheme or CGHS. Then आप लोगों को शायद पता होगा that the Municipal Corporation of Delhi comes under central government and not the territory or state government. Then Indian Ordnance Factories Health Services, New Delhi Municipal काउंसिल एंड उसके अंदर जो भी हॉस्पिटल्स आते हैं, एंड देन अदर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हेल्थ सर्विसेज. सो इन ऑल दीज प्लेसेस यू मे गेट प्लेस्ड आफ्टर यू क्रैक दिस एग्जाम. नाउ हाउ इज इट डिफरेंट इफ आई एम एन MBBS graduate or if I am an intern now and I want to aim for this exam? How is it going to be different from the NEET PG? Well, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स तो अलग अलग हैं, वो तो क्लियर है. CMS इज फॉर अ गवर्नमेंट जॉब. NEET PG का ऑब्जेक्टिव है to get into a residency or PG training. CMS will not ensure that you will be trained as a specialist. You will get a job as a doctor. So you will remain a generalist if you are working for the central government. But if you do NEET PG, you can get into a specialist pathway and you can come out as a specialist. Okay. In terms of difficulty, most of the faculty say, including the students, say that it is moderately difficult as compared to NEET PG. I may have a little bit of different opinion on this. I personally like the standard of questions in the UPSC CMS than the standard of questions in the NEET PG. NEET PG, आजकल it's focusing more on ratifying, right? Memorize all these mutations, rare things, very new drugs which are not even available in Indian market, but they keep asking those questions. But UPSC CMS question papers हम देखेंगे तो I realize that the questions are designed in a way that they try to filter out those doctors who are ready for the society. Means there are diseases which are relevant to India. They are a big burden at the level of masses, right? So they focus on those diseases. The common things are given emphasis than the rare things, right? So that way it is difficult. That way it is different. Now the other teachers, because see, as a practitioner, for me, TB is no-brainer. It's a simple disease. Like I know everything. I should not say I know everything, but I know most of the stuff about TB because I face those patients regularly in my clinical practice. Same way malaria, right? Now in UPSC CMS, you will get plenty of questions from malaria or tuberculosis. And because I'm familiar with these diseases, the questions will seem easier, but the standard of framing questions is quite at par with the NEET PG. But people would say NEET PG is difficult because they will ask more research bound questions, more about recent developments. That's the difference. Otherwise, the core of both NEET PG as well as CMS remains same, the MBBS level knowledge. CMS focuses on the diseases which are relevant to India. NEET PG does not differentiate that way. Okay. What is the outcome if I take up CMS exam? Once I crack the exam, I can land up with a government job immediately. If I take the NEET PG, of course, I have to go for 3 years of training and then I will become a specialist. I might choose to pursue super specialty or start practice after that. Okay. Now, is CMS a government and secure job? Yes. If you are getting a rank in CMS where the job is available, then yes, it's 100% government service. You will be placed in central or semi-central institutions. And in addition to having an assured government job, you will have the eligibility to be part of the national pension scheme. So post-retirement, you will receive the pension, which if you're working in a private sector, it is not assured. And then definitely there is job security if you're in a government job. Even when things go wrong, you will be placed in suspension and you do not have the fear of losing the job until and unless you got the job by illegal means. But in private sector, people can throw you out from the job just like that, right? And then in the government sector, as of now, especially central government sectors, like for example, if you are a railway medical officer, you have fixed working hours. Unlike the private practice or the work with the government, the private hospitals where your working hours are not assured or fixed. Here you have regular fixed working hours. So that kind of helps you to give a good balance of work and life. And in remote areas and smaller cities, government jobs are still respected way more than even if you've built an empire of private practice. People will still respect if you're in a government job. So if you come from those areas and you want to return back to your areas, it does matter a bit, right? Okay. Now, what are the perks of getting a central government job? I don't have to ensure it. Those who are looking for government jobs are very much familiar with it. So you get a base pay of around 70,000 a month plus plenty of allowances. The allowances include house rent allowance, travel allowance, dearness allowance, and being a doctor. Of course, when you join the government job, especially central government job, you're not allowed to do a private practice. So you also get an extra allowance for that. It is called as non-practice allowance or NPA. So all those perks add up and your salary definitely matches of those who is into practice after the PG and he has practiced for 2 or 3 years. जो उनका income होगा into the private practice I'm talking about. I'm not talking about working in a medical college as assistant professor. वहाँ पे इतना भी मिलना मुश्किल है. But if you started practice on your own and you are into 2 to 3 years of practice, जो आप income बना पा रहे हो 2 to 3 years of practice के बाद, उतना आपको आराम से salary में मिल जाएगा from the beginning. And as I've already told you, you have a stable work-life balance. So ये private practice वालों के लिए guaranteed नहीं है कि work-life balance stable होगा. And you also get access to all the central government facilities. तो central government की तरफ से जो भी extra facilities मिलते हैं, you are also eligible because now you are an employee of the central government. Plus आपको paid leave मिलता है, maternity, paternity benefits, leave, वो सब मिलेंगे, which you won't get it in private practice. So if I'm into private practice and I skip work, patients don't come to me in those days because I'm not going for the work, पैसा भी नहीं आएगा, right? Okay. And then central government is quite trusted when it comes to time-bound promotions. तो टाइम के हिसाब से आपको प्रमोशन मिलता रहेगा, आपके सैलरी में जो जंप है वो होता रहेगा. So it's a good deal. Who have joined us CMS, they worked for the government and then they have prepared during their tenure as the medical officer with the central government. They have prepared for the UPSC IAS. So one of my friend has become a district collector now after clearing IAS. One more has become IPS. One more of my batchmate has joined Indian Audit Service. So it's not the end कि हाँ अब गवर्नमेंट जॉब मिला है बस मुझे यहाँ पे ही अपने आप को रिस्ट्रिक्ट करना, ऐसा भी नहीं. It like getting into the central government job gives you the initial revenue, job stability, peace of mind, work-life balance, and जो free time आपको मिल रहा है, you can definitely invest that time into preparing for other exams. So yes, you can prepare for the NEET PG. The job does not stop you legally from appearing for the NEET PG. And in fact, if you have paid leaves available with you, you can take those leaves for your PG preparation as well. And in the CMS, you can resign whenever you want. You don't have to pay any penalty or there is no bond for the resignation. जो भी resignation की formalities हैं, fulfill that and you're done. You're out. After that, if you want, you can pursue your PG as well. Now the question is, can I get the government sponsorship for the PG if I am working for the government? Yes. You are eligible for the government sponsorship 3 to 5 years after you have resumed your CMS services. But for that, of course, you need the no objection certificate from the department where you're working. Like, let us say I'm posted in the railway medical services, then I need the no objection certificate from the railway department. Okay. You're open for the diploma DNB as well as MD. You're eligible to appear for any of these PG seats. And if you take up a sponsored seat during your PG tenure, you will continue to derive your salary. So you're not going to get the stipend. And remember, if you've already served 3 to 5 years to the government, your salary will be quite good, which is way ahead of the stipend. So you'll continue to draw the salary and not the stipend. So you're making good amount during your PG. And during this PG period, your job is considered as study leave. So जो आपका experience है वो accumulate होता जाएगा, because it is not absence, this is study leave. So when you come back from PG, let us say after 5 years with the central government, I've gone for PG. तो तब तक मेरा 5 year का experience था, PG 3 साल study leave है. तो जब मैं वापस आऊँगा, government counts me as having 8 years of experience. But only thing is, if you are going into PG as a sponsored candidate, you need to return to service after the PG. You need to get back to the government service. You can't like, okay, PG हो गया, I will escape to private practice. वो तो नहीं होगा, but you have a choice. If you crack NEET PG on your own and you're not taking the sponsored sheet, then you don't have any bond. Just get into the PG, resign, tata bye-bye to the government and continue your PG. But yes, you will derive your stipend and not the salary. But if you're in a sponsored PG, you will derive your salary, not the stipend. Okay. Now, is it worth it? So that is a subjective question. It's not objective, because it depends on who you are and what your life goals are. Ideally speaking, CMS is worth for those who are seeking early job stability. देखो, हम सब लोगों का जो socio-economic status है या जो background है वो अलग है. So not all can wait for 7-8 years to start making revenue after their MBBS. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आई एम इन अ सिचुएशन वेयर आई कैन नॉट वेट फॉर 10 years टू स्टार्ट मेकिंग सम डिसेंट मनी, जो फैमिली सपोर्ट करना है, मेरा छोटा भाई है वो स्टडी कर रहा है, या छोटी बहन है जिसकी शादी के लिए मुझे कुछ मनी इकट्ठा करके रखना पड़ता है. सो इफ यू आर इन दैट सर्कमस्टेंस, राइट, इट्स गुड because you get a good enough money. You can reasonably make savings during your first month, from the first month of your government job itself. So if you're looking for those early job stability, or if you're looking for high return on investment after MBBS, it's worth it. And getting into the CMS does not mean that door is shut for your PG. It gives you the flexibility of preparing for the PG in the future. Either crack the NEET PG on your own or take a sponsored sheet. And of course, जो government के perks and benefits हैं, they will all come to you. There is a reasonably assured career growth because in the government there is a time bound promotion, तो वो आपको मिलता ही रहेगा. Now whether you want to use this as a primary plan कि हाँ मुझे बस अब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जॉब करना है, उसके बाद में मन किया तो पीजी करूँगा, नहीं तो नहीं, but I am going to work for central government, then this can be your primary plan. Or if you're in a situation कि हाँ अभी immediately I will not be able to crack a good seat, government medical college seat for a PG, and मुझे कुछ साल, 2 साल, 3 साल वर्क करना पड़ेगा, in that case I would strongly recommend that use this as a backup plan instead of working for some corporate hospital as a junior resident or in a medical college as a JR and getting a paltry sum. Get into the central government job where your work-life balance is assured. So आपको NEET PG preparation के लिए time मिलेगा. If I'm in a corporate hospital, probably शायद I may not be getting the time to prepare for NEET PG. इतना tired हो जाऊंगा at the end of the day that I just go and sleep. So यहाँ पे आपको regular working hours है, तो you will definitely be able to prepare for your NEET PG as well. So you can either use it as a backup plan or primary plan depending on your life goals. Now, if I want to prepare for this examination, okay, how should I prepare? Okay, before I go there, who should go for UPSC CMS exam? I think you have the clarity now. MBBS graduates who are seeking a central government job, who want a stable work-life balance, preparing for PG with the income, or those who are coming from modest background जहाँ पे post MBBS आपको earn करना ही पड़ता है, you're in that situation. Or if you're aiming for a sponsored PG, or maybe even IAS, IPS like UPSC other exams, you can definitely go for it. Now, if you're preparing, how should I prepare? So to understand that, you need to know that the UPSC CMS has two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Okay. So paper 1 primarily has general medicine and pediatrics. General medicine and pediatrics. And the question paper is readily available. After the exam, question paper is available with you. So here you have 120. Distribution of questions between medicine and pediatrics might vary a bit, but roughly you get around 80 to 90% questions from medicine and 10 to 20% questions from pediatrics. That's the rough distribution. So this July, 24 questions were from pediatrics, 96 questions were from medicine. Okay, that is paper 1. And please remember, within paper 1, you get reasonable representation. Even for the subject of medicine, you get reasonable representation from preventive and social medicine. Okay, so you should always keep in mind that medicine का जो 10-15% questions होंगे, they will be from preventive and social medicine. Pediatrics को भी 10-15% questions will be from preventive and social medicine. So it's a very, very important subject apart from medicine and pediatrics. And same applies to the paper 2. So paper 2 primarily focuses on surgery, OBG and gynecology. So in paper 1, you are having pediatrics and medicine. And in paper 2, you have surgery, gynae, OBS and preventive and social medicine. Please remember, the questions of preventive and social medicine often filter into paper 1 as well. So roughly speaking, I would say that the important subjects for the UPSC CMS are general medicine, pediatrics, surgery, gynecology, obstetrics and preventive and social medicine. Clear? So when you look at the distribution, overall, मतलब दो पेपर मिला के 240 questions में से 40% roughly are likely to come from medicine, 10% from pediatrics, 33 from surgery, ops gynae and 16.7 roughly from preventive and social medicine. थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर usually होता ही है. Now if you are preparing, how should I allocate my time and resources? And will there be any major change in the distribution? So हम 2018 से 25 का सब्जेक्ट वाइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का एक प्लॉट बनाते हैं एंड यू विल सी फ्रॉम द प्लॉट दैट मेजर शफलिंग इज नॉट हैपन. सो लाइक 2018 में यू हैड 40% क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम मेडिसिन एंड इट इज गॉन अप क्लोज टू 50, बट 40 to 50 के रेंज में है. इट्स नॉट लाइक ओके 40% से 10% ड्रॉप हुआ या 40% से 80% तक जंप हुआ. नो. सो व्हेन यू लुक एट द पीडियाट्रिक्स, व्हेन यू लुक एट सर्जरी, द ट्रेंड कंटिन्यूज टू बी pretty much in the same range, right? एक 10% रेंज में इधर उधर फ्लक्चुएट हो रहा है. सो यू कैन रीजनेबली प्रिज्यूम दैट ओके मैंने मेडिसिन किया तो 40% क्वेश्चंस में डील कर पाऊंगा. इफ मैंने ऑप्स गाइन सर्जरी किया है तो 33-34% क्वेश्चंस में आराम से डील कर पाऊंगा. Now, okay, I understood now that medicine, surgery, ops gyne, pediatrics and PSM are important subjects. But within these subjects, are there important topics? In the beginning only I have told you that when it comes to the UPSC CMS, उन डिसीजेस को वेटेज दिया गया है जो इंडिया के लिए बहुत रेलेवेंट डिसीजेस हैं, जो एक इंडिया पे बर्डन है. So you can predict the important topics. So if I talk about the important topics from the medicine, infectious diseases are frequently asked, and within infectious diseases, majority of the questions come from malaria, dengue, tuberculosis, and to some extent the leptospirosis and enteric fever. Then cardiovascular disorders, and when you look at cardiovascular disorders, a lot of questions are on murmurs, valvular heart diseases, and ischemic heart disease. So if you are able to deal with murmurs, valvular heart disease and ischemic heart disease, you have hit the major chunk of questions from cardiovascular. Respiratory, primarily interpretation of PFT to differentiate between obstructive restrictive disorders. Then questions on asthma and COPD. Quite predictable topics, right? Then to some extent, yes, occupational lung disorders as well. Then from endocrine disorders, diabetes and thyroid disorder related questions are aplenty. Unlike in NEET PG where some rare autoimmune polyendocrine syndrome related questions will come, utna deep nahi jayenge. They will focus more on the important relevant diseases. Nephrology is where you get plenty of questions on glomerulonephritis, questions on channels, questions on diuretics. And just like any other NEET PG or FMG exam, there will be 1 or 2 questions on acid-base disorders, the standard hai. If you look at pediatrics, predictable, right? Growth and development, immunization, common childhood infections, and nutritional disorders. Common. These are the burden on the society, right? Then surgery, trauma management, which as an MBBS doctor, every MBBS doctor is supposed to be good at management of trauma. So it's relevant, they ask. Then surgical infections, GIT and urology. From Obs Gynae, ANC, very, very important, plenty of questions. Labor management, stages of labor, plenty of questions. Contraception, you call it preventive medicine or you call it Obs Gynae, well, they will ask a lot of questions. Menstrual disorders and cancers. From the PSM, mainly, of course, same applies to NEET PG as well. The questions are mainly coming from national health programs. Assured questions say national health programs. रट्टा मार के जाओगे तब भी आपको marks मिल जाएंगे. Then some basic epidemiology, some basic statistics, occupational health and environmental health. These are the frequently repeated topics of the UPSC CMS in last 7 years. So now that you have a fair idea of what this exam is for, किसके लिए है, exam कैसे conduct होता है, questions कौन से topic से ज़्यादा commonly आते हैं, कौन से subjects important है. If you are planning to take this exam, start preparing from today. The UPSC CMS question papers are freely available on the social media and on the internet. You can easily download and go through the questions. And you will also learn that not much of dissimilarity exists between the NEET PG and this in terms of the standard of questions. So you can start preparing from the NEET PG QBank itself. Only thing is that अगर आप NEET PG के लिए prepare कर रहे हो तो you are preparing 19 subjects. If you are preparing for the UPSC CMS, then you are only preparing for medicine, pediatrics, obs gynae, surgery, preventive and social medicine. So it unburdens you a lot. इस एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर करना 3 या 3.5 महीने का डेडिकेटेड प्रिपरेशन काफ़ी है. नीट पीजी के लिए ऑफकोर्स 1 year is also not sufficient at the times, right? And if you want to go through more questions from the UPSC CMS, these questions, many of these are included in our physics wala MedEd NEET PG QBank itself. So if you can solve the NEET PG QBank, you will be exposed to reasonable questions from the UPSC CMS as well, and you should be confident enough to face your UPSC CMS. So if you're preparing, I'm wishing you all the best. Hopefully I'll see you as the medical officer for the central government soon. All the best, guys. Bye bye.